good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Thursday, and you know what that means. Thursday's 13 list. Yes, we have got a list of 13 most affordable cities in the United States, I'm assuming, to live in.
And there's if you're retired or you got a fixed income, you don't want to see your rent go up every 5 minutes.
These are the cities that you should move to right now. We also have some general news stories about, things that are happening in the world. We live in a society. This is Before Coffee, the first and only international game show, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show started. We just got caffeine in our body and we're learning to read and speak live on stream. So let's get into those general news stories, read that Thursday's 13 list, and spin the segue wheel. Today on Thursday's 13, Spain, Italy, and the Netherlands join European naval deployment to Cyprus. Plus, Northern European nations agree to draw up joint evacuation plans in event of crisis or military conflict.
Happy Thursday, where we have 5 takeaways from the first primaries, which were on Tuesday, of the 2026 midterms. And the Trump administration keeps changing their justification for bombing Iran.
Oh, we're doing it because we felt like it. In some science news, chimps love crystals just as much as we do. Get that monkey brain out.
And from Thursday's 13, we're going to have the most affordable cities in the United States based on 2 factors: medium income and medium rent.
And for my culture news, the Paramount Warner Bros. Mega merger could still face real threats, antitrust experts say.
And it's National Multiple Personality Day, because if you got schizophrenia, you're never alone. It's March 5th, 2026 on Before Coffee.
Don't forget to doodle your cheese and say hello to Steve for me, by the way.
Steve? Hi, Steve.
Yeah, Steve is your alternate personality where you're much more grumpier than usual. I don't know why. He doesn't have to be called Steve.
He's locked in the room with the writers.
Yeah. Good old Steve. Or not good old, actually.
He's making friends.
Multiple. There's a really good movie about that, of course. Split. Featuring one of my favorite Scottish men. And also Glass features the same character.
Oh, what's that?
I guess it's a thriller horror film made by the guy who did The Sixth Sense. What's the name of him? The director?
M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan made a trilogy superhero series.
Just right on my head.
What was it called? Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. They're all basically related to each other, and it features a character who has like 20 multiple personalities or something. He's kind of like a villain of the story.
Well, you should watch Sybil. There's a movie with Sally Field called Sybil. Really good movie.
Also, multiple personality disorder movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, Sybil was the name what they would call people with multiple for a long time, just after that movie. I'll tell you when that movie came out.
Interesting. Okay, our first segue today reminds me of a song. So I hope you have some songs about, global turmoil. Yeah, that's right, guys. My first 2 stories are basically, hey, it's time to continue the global turmoil. I mean, we've been in the global turmoil since Russia invaded Ukraine, but that's
sarcasm? I feel like sarcasm today.
You can do whatever you want. The wheel said reminds me of a song. You can be sarcastic if you want. I don't care.
Got you.
I don't care.
Sorry,
I'm not attached to the wheel. This is a story coming off of Euronews by Ioannis Karagiorgos,
like you're not hearing me.
Which it sounds like they're from probably Greece or Cyprus. Multiple European countries have announced further deployment of naval assets to the eastern Mediterranean after a drone attack on a UK base in Cyprus. HMS Dragon is expected next week. I love how they named it HMS Dragon. Several European countries deployed naval and air assets to Cyprus this week, following Greek and French military commitments to bolster the island's air defenses after an Iranian-made drone struck an British RAF Akrotiri base on Monday. That was the 2nd of March. Greece dispatched 2 frigates, Kimon and Passara, along with 4 F-16 fighter jets to Cyprus, while France sent its frigate Guedoc equipped with an anti-missile and anti-drone system. Spain announced Thursday, which is today, the 5th of March, it would send its most advanced warship, the Álvaro de Bazán class frigate, Cristobal Colón, the eastern Mediterranean to join France and Greece. The Spanish frigate, which has been training with France's Charles de Gaulle aircraft carrier, which has been deployed to the eastern Mediterranean in the Baltic Sea, is expected to reach waters off Crete next week. Italy's defense minister Guido Crosetto told Parliament Thursday, today the 5th of March, his country would follow France, Spain, and the Netherlands in sending naval assets to help Cyprus. Crosetto said Italy, France, and the Netherlands and Spain agreed within the EU it made sense to send a message of support to Cyprus. Cyprus President Nikos Christodoulidis confirmed Italy's participation, thanking Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni in a post on Twitter. Un sentito ringraziamento alla Presidente del Consiglio Giorgia Meloni per il preciso sostegno d'Italia a Cipro. And there's way more. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I don't even know what it says, but I think he's saying thanks. Thanks, sis. Thanks, sis, for sending your military. The Netherlands is preparing to send the frigate HNLMS Easter Everston. Everston. I thought it was Everston, but the T is before the S. Everston with France's carrier strike group to eastern Mediterranean. The UK announced Tuesday, the 3rd of March, it would deploy the Type 45 destroyer HMS Dragon and 2 Wildcat helicopters armed with Marlet missiles to bolster drone defense. HMS Dragon is being prepared for a voyage of around 5,500 kilometers, taking about 7 days to reach the theater. UK Defense Secretary John Healey arrived in Cyprus on today, the 5th of March, and met his Cypriot counterpart Vasilis Palmas to discuss how Britain would further reinforce air defenses. An alarm sounded at around 11 p.m. Wednesday, the 4th of March, in Akrotiri, with authorities sending mobile phone alerts warning of an ongoing security threat. Government spokesperson Konstantinos Letyimboutos said the alert was precautionary and that no threat had been identified. Earlier on the 4th of March, Cyprus said a suspicious object had been detected near the Lebanese airspace, prompting Greek F-16 fighter jets to scramble from Paphos. The alert was called off more than an hour later after authorities investigated the incident. So everyone's on edge over there, which fair enough. It's not that far for a missile to hit somebody by accident or on purpose.
No, we got limited range, but if you're in range, stand
and that's
by.
why it's good to have foreign military bases in your countries, because then they'll go defend your country, because they'll be like, oh shit, that's my base. That's my British base. I better go defend that real quick. That's the problem Ukraine had. No bases to defend for foreign powers, so nobody went in there to help defend them.
Reminds me of a song.
Which song?
It's a song by Edwin Starr, and it's called War. Huh.
What is
it good for?
Making me some money if I sell weapons to both sides. Yeah!
Absolutely
woohoo!
nothing. Say it again. War. What is it good
Sorry,
for?
I can't read that that alphabet, so I don't know what that says. But thank you for your message.
Say it again.
Or no, thank you for your message. I can't read it.
What, you getting some cryptic
I don't know
message?
Sanskrit. Sanskrit race languages completely over my head. No idea. Anyways.
You don't interpret cave drawings.
Probably just
for
a troll
living?
message, anyways, right? It's probably just a troll message.
Hieroglyphics are your thing? Is that what you're in?
Or Cyprus.
Never mind.
Thank you for your story.
All right.
Not your story, your song. I have one more story. And this is about the northern European countries, so the Nordics, drawing up evacuation plans in the event that Russia takes all this theater in the Middle East as a great distraction to go invade, I don't know, Lithuania or something. This is on Reuters.
Yeah.
Coming out of Stockholm on March 4th, so yesterday, 10 nations across Northern Europe have agreed to prepare for possible cross-border evacuations of civilians in the event of a crisis or military conflict in the region in a bid to draw lessons from the war in Ukraine, Sweden said yesterday on 4th of March. The 10 will jointly prepare plans for covering transport, border controls, and travel corridors and other matters. Germany and Poland, along with their fellow NATO members Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Iceland, and Denmark, have ramped up their planning in recent years for a possible future armed conflict with Russia. Imagine somebody invading Iceland of all places. That'd be really crazy.
We need more. Yeah, we need to harvest all the.
They have a lot of heat there.
Water.
They have a lot of thermal energy, I guess. I need to use a volcano to power my doomsday device.
You can't ship it someplace. So what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
Experience from Ukraine has shown that the temporary movements of population enable the continued defense of the country while protecting civilians, Sweden's Ministry of Defense said in a statement announcing the North European Agreement. Millions of people have fled Ukraine in the 4 years since Russia's full-scale invasion in February 22, most of them seeking refuge in other European nations while the conflict at home continues. Yes, we still have some Ukrainians living here in my village of all places in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's not in the middle of nowhere, but you know, there's some villages that don't have Ukrainians living in them. Sweden said that in addition to transport and travel corridors, the planning for cross-border evacuation will include the reception and registration of people and the protection of vulnerable groups. The purpose of the agreement is to improve the protection of the civilians' population in the event of a major crisis, or in worst case, war, it said. The Kremlin has repeatedly said that Russia does not want to invade NATO countries because it will get bombed out of hell. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania last year made a similar agreement between themselves, drawing up contingency plans to deal with the possibility of hundreds of thousands of people fleeing a Russian troop buildup or attack. Finland, which shares 1,340-kilometer long border with Russia, in 2024 signed a similar deal with Sweden. This was reported by Anna Ringstrom, edited by Terje Solsvik and Hugh Lawson on Reuters. So there's your update on contingency plans for hopefully nothing that ever happens.
Okay, well, get your bingo card out. Because I'm going to quote Bob Dylan.
Oh, here we go. Marty Collins.
His song it kind of reminds me of Masters of War, but they don't specifically mention Russia in that song. But another Bob Dylan song is called With God on Our Side, if you haven't heard that one. It's every verse is Bob Dylan, of course, being sarcastic and justifying every stinking war we've ever fought. God's on our side, right? And the verse, let's do the verse about Russia here. It's way down the list because this is about the Cold War. He wrote this in 1963 when he was like 22. It was ridiculous. He wrote all this stuff when he was a kid, basically. I've learned to hate Russians all through my life. If another war comes, it's them we must fight. To hate them and fear them, to run and to hide, and accept it all bravely with God on my side. Yeah, God's on my side. Yeah.
God does not care about your petty squabbles. If God is real, they don't care about your petty squabbles about land and resources.
Yeah, again, God. This is why we are going to segue into the justification for this bullshit war. So,
let's roll our segue wheel and get into that story. It is.
Yeah, so I was going to segue into a different story, but as we're on the subject of war and the justification.
Accurate metaphor and simile.
Let's go ahead. Similes. All right, yeah. Simile for war again. We got two stories, but the first one's about war. This is foreignpolicy.com. The Trump administration's Iran war justifications just keep on a-changing. John Haltiwanger. His name is Haltiwanger. I don't know if I'd even go to elementary school with a name called Haltiwanger, but that's his name. The Trump administration has offered an array of conflicting justifications for the war with Iran since the bombs started falling on Saturday as part of a joint operation with Israel. I like that. I like how Trump calls it a coalition too. It's like two countries do not a coalition make. Sorry, it's not a coalition. Everybody else is pissed. The latest came on Tuesday when Stinky the Clown said he launched the war because he believed that Iran was about to attack Israel and others. Okay, sounds like Israel's problem. The Trump administration has offered an array of conflicting justifications for the war in Iran since the bombs started falling on Saturday as a part of a joint operation. We did this again. Let's do this again. We're having negotiation with these lunatics. Okay, you don't negotiate with people and then call them lunatics. That's not diplomacy. That's hatred. God, just wake me up from this nightmare. He told reporters in the Oval Office, referring to nuclear talks with Iran, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. Your opinion, okay. Again, this is again called Operation Epstein Fury for a reason, or Epstein Berry. It's more accurate. But less than 24 hours before Stinky offered this assessment, Secretary of State Little Marco said the United States had acted preemptively because it knew that Israel was going to attack Iran. Huh? Which is which? Israel was going to attack Iran, or Iran was going to attack Israel? And Washington expects Iran to retaliate by attacking U.S. forces. Yeah. You know why I slapped you? No? Well, neither do I. That's basically the answer. We knew that there was going to be an Israel action. We knew that there were participating attack against American forces. He's just spinning and spinning and spinning. He's just spinning until people stop listening to his spin. That's what's going on here. Republicans in Congress later amplified Rubio's explanation because Israel is determined to act with or without the U.S. So let them do it if they want to. Ain't our problem. They're going to bomb American targets if Israel attacks. Okay. So when they do that, you retaliate. But to preemptively attack a country, take out a leader that was like 5 minutes away from dying anyway. I guess you killed a bunch of other people too, but I guess killing people is success in this country now. Yeah, yep. We didn't win the war, but we sure killed a lot of people. Absolute debauchery. Asked about the apparent contradiction between Rubio's and Trump's statement, the White House on Tuesday provided foreign policy with another reason. President Stinky's courageous decision. Courageous? What the fuck's courageous? He's hiding in his office. President, this is spokesman Carolyn, I don't have a brain, Levitt. President Stinky's courageous decision to launch Operation Epstein Fury is grounded in truth that presidents for 50 years have been talking about. No, 50 years Israel's been trying to con presidents into bombing Iran, and Trump's the only one stupid enough to do it. So anyway, that was her stupid little statement. I don't have a hell of a lot more to say about this. We'll get some Democratic pushback here. Trump acting like he gave him a deal that should have accepted, which is nonsense. There is no evidence that has been presented to us that the United States was under threat of imminent attack from Iran, House Leader, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said on Tuesday. It's hard for the American people to understand the rationale. So they keep changing it. The latest one, again, he's telling them commanders, and he's even said it on Twitter.
Yep.
This is a holy war. Really? It's a holy war. Is that what we want, America? A holy war? Seriously. How many
Holy
people
war
voted
for
for
who?
a holy war in a last election? So there's your justification. I'm sure there's a nice simile you can come up with that for that lying sack of shit in the White House.
I mean, starting an illegal war is just like the epitome of our continued existence under gaslighting news. Right? It's just,
okay.
This is the result. This is the result of just
it's the result
headlines
of people
telling
not
us what to think.
anything.
Not even reading the article, right? Just the headlines saying you need to think this, and then you say okay, and you don't read it, you don't look into it at all, and that's what this war is.
Here's another thing. Here's another thing you need to consider. Just as long as we're talking about the major conspiracies of all the billionaires trying to fuck everybody. Do you know who makes all the textbooks in the United States? A company called McGraw-Hill. And do you know who owns McGraw-Hill? Ghislaine Maxwell's dad owns McGraw-Hill. That's how fucked up we are, right? They write our textbooks for our schools. Them bastards. Yeah, we're screwed. We're totally... That's why our country's stupid and getting stupider all the time. All right. Next story.
Is that your only story?
We had an election. Yeah, we had elections on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You have another story?
Okay. Yeah, another story about elections on Tuesday. We'll try to make it quick. This is NPR.com. 5 takeaways from the first primaries of 26. This is from Domenico Montanaro. Love that name. This is from NPR.org. Free from government interference, by the way. But donations. Donate to NPR. If you don't donate to us, give them money because they do actual reporting. The first primaries of the 26 campaign are in the books. The results in North Carolina and Texas could have big consequences for control of Congress. The first lesson we're going to learn, and number 1, Texas Republicans head for a runoff in the Senate primary. And Stinky the Clown has already endorsed, I think, Senator John Cornyn. So we're getting ahead of that story. In the 3-way race among incumbent John Cornyn, who is in the Senate right now, State Attorney Ken Paxton, who's a criminal, and Rep. Wesley Hunt, the black guy in the race, to siphon off votes from the other two. That's all I can think of because he finished third. That means 12 more weeks. Nobody got 50%. To avoid a runoff, one of them would have had to get to a majority. That means 12 more weeks of the Texas Senate GOP primary until May 26th. This has already been the most expensive Senate primary in history. Another $100 million could be spent on top of the nearly $100 million that was already spent. Cornyn and Paxton is really the old vestiges of traditional Republican Party against MAGA pugilists. Nah, it's just a couple of Trump butt kissers going at each other. I really don't see it as that. They're both just butt kissers. I can't think of one thing John Cornyn has done in the Senate. I forgot he was even there. Anyway, he's probably going to endorse Cornyn. The Republican was decided by James Tallarico, who defeated Jasmine Crockett. And I made this mention on Facebook. If this primary was the same as California's primary, where only the 2 top vote getters advanced to the general election. So California, in other words, 50 people running for Senate, and they take the top 2 finishers in the primary, regardless of party, and run them in the general election. If Texas had this system, then 2 Democrats would be running against each other in the general election in Texas. Yeah, 60%. If you take these top 4 candidates, add all their votes together, 60% of the voters voted for the Democrat, 40% voted for the Republican. It looks like Texas is turning blue. But we'll see. They're going to try to rig the vote. We'll see. Number 2, we just covered this. Will Democrats finally win Texas? And that's we just covered everything I just said. They haven't had a governor win since 1994. They haven't had a senator since Lloyd Benson left. He was the guy that ran for vice president with Dukakis. Remember Dukakis? You don't even know Dukakis. He ran in 88. That's how long it's been for a Republican senator from North Carolina. North Carolina State Senate, number 3, the North Carolina Senate seat matchup is set. That's the third one. Former Governor Roy Cooper, I thought he was the current governor, but I guess he's not. No, he's a former governor. He's running for senator. And there's an open Senate seat because Republican Tom Tillis, who, I don't know, we were going to play the speech. He was yelling at Kristi Noem the other day. He tore her a new one. We're not going to play it today, but anyway, that guy's retiring, so he's free to say what he wants. The Republican aiming to replace Michael Whatley, a former Trump Republican National Committee chairman. Whatley has no chance of winning. Cooper's a very popular governor. So, and again, the votes, there was not really a contested primary on the Democratic side, but more Democrats showed up for the primary than for the Republican primary in North Carolina, a nominally red state. Number 4, more signs of trouble for incumbents. Even Democratic incumbents were losing their own primaries because they supported Israel. That's a big issue in the Democratic Party. If you're getting the AIPAC money, give it back or just disavow it. I don't care how you feel about Israel. They're coming for you because you're taking AIPAC money. Just a warning, you Democrats think you're safe. And that goes for everybody who thinks they're in a safe seat. So, the other stories here, more signs of trouble for incumbents. They usually win elections. On Tuesday, a variety of incumbents had difficulty for different reasons. Not only was Cornyn forced into runoff, but Texas Republican Representative Dan Crenshaw lost. He's not right-wing enough for the fascists and the MAGA. They threw him out. He's not going back to Congress. Somebody else is going his place. Scandal-plagued Rep. Tony Gonzalez, we talked about him earlier. He's the one that was sending inappropriate messages to an aide who killed herself. And he's going to run off in a dead heat. So he's not even going to resign now because he still didn't lose. So they're going to have to go to May 26th to see if he keeps his job. Number 5, it was the first day of primaries, and there was a voting problem. Of course, in Texas, in Dallas County, the fascists in Texas made it hard for everybody in Jasmine Crockett's district to vote. Isn't that interesting? Nobody else had them problems. Why only Dallas County?
Suspicious indeed.
Anyway, it probably wasn't going to make a difference in the election, but it's a harbinger of things to come. So there's your fun little chicanery in Texas. We're used to that, right?
Poor Texas. I feel so bad for them. Because there's a lot of good people in Texas. A lot of people who just live there, you know? They've lived there for generations or whatever, and it's like, for some reason the idiot, non-caring, capitalist-loving idiots took over the whole state.
Don't forget what's driving this.
Yeah.
You know what's driving this is the Hispanic vote. The people that thought Trump was only going to deport people they didn't like, and then members of their family are getting dragged off, and now it's like, that's enough. That's not true. So again, they got conned by a con man. I don't understand why people think that's a brilliant thing to continue to be conned, but I don't understand that mentality. I never have. Admit when you're wrong. Admit you fucked up.
These primary elections will be shaping the raw block of political aspirations.
There you go. Nice segue. As soon as I get my board up, I'll clap. My computer just got that little wheel going round and round. There it goes.
Woo!
Unfortunately, I can't just close a window when it closes. It goes, I know you clicked on that. I'm not going to close. My computer sucks. My signal sucks.
All right, let's get our next segue for my next story.
Right.
It is a haiku.
Haiku,
You gotta write a poem about chimpanzees loving crystals. This is a story that is completely just not related to any of the problems that we're going through, you know, just, why is that on screen? I hate when that happens. Go away. Thank you. Okay. Just about chimps. So, this is coming off of IFL Science from Benjamin Taub. From Viking sailors to New Age spiritualists, people have always been slightly obsessed with crystals, and it turns out that chimpanzees are no different. Observing our simian cousins go absolutely bananas over these shiny minerals. Where was I? I lost my shiny minerals. Researchers believe they may now be able to explain the magpie-like behavior of prehistoric humans who lived around 800,000 years ago. It is in our point in history that the first collection of crystals appears in archaeological record. Discovered at the famous Zhaocaodian site in China in 1931, this assemblage of 20 small quartz crystals was accumulated by Homo erectus and marks the beginning of humanity's long love affair with sparkly rocks. They're gonna cure your cancer! Other similar finds from 500,000 years ago have since been unearthed in South Africa, while 6 quartz prisms from India were stockpiled by one of our ancestors around 300,000 years ago. Importantly, none of these items displays have signs of being modified, which means they weren't used as a weapon, tools, or personal adornments, all of which leaves a massive, glimmering question mark hanging over their function. 'Cause they're pretty shiny rocks. To gain new insights, researchers decided to study the behavior of our closest living relatives when encountering crystals. They therefore conducted a series of experiments with chimpanzees housed in sanctuary. Given that the chimps and humans diverged from their last common ancestor between 6 and 8 million years ago, the discovery of any shared behaviors between us and them would suggest that these traits are at least that old. Describing his team's observations, study author Juan Manuel Garcia Ruiz from the Donostia International Physics Center told IFL Science that there were 3 moments that were absolutely astonishing. The first of these occurred when the chimps were presented with a large Kubrick-esque crystal, a monolith, similar to the beginning of 2001 Space Odyssey, alongside a normal rock of similar size. Ignoring the duller object, a chimp called Vivan picked up the monolith and carried it to the ape's sleeping area, where the group spent almost 2 days actively exploring this unfamiliar object. It's so shiny. What does it do? Why is it shiny like that? The way they studied it there, turning it over to observe it from different angles was amazing, said Garcia Ruiz. A second unexpected moment occurred when the chimp were given a pile of stones that contained a mix of quartz crystal and regular pebbles. Amazingly, the animals were able to immediately tell the difference. I mean, just because they're chimpanzees doesn't mean they don't have observational abilities. That is rock. That is shiny rock. Okay, amazingly, they were able to figure it out. Shiny rock, different. Consistently, they chose to pick up the crystals over the pebbles. Yvonne held one of these quartz pieces close to his eye in order to examine the transparency. This obvious and persistent behavior went beyond anything I could have ever anticipated, said Garcia Ruiz. It means that chimpanzees' interest in crystals goes beyond mere curiosity. What are the secrets in these crystals? Finally, the chimps were presented with a pile of regular stones that also contained 3 types of crystals, each of which are different in shape, luminosity, and transparency. One chimp, named Sandy, immediately separated all 3 crystals types from pebbles, demonstrating a clear ability to distinguish between normal stones and crystals. We could not believe it. Could you really not believe it? I feel like if you study chimpanzees even for 2 seconds, you know that they can differentiate objects from each other. This is really I'm not as amazed as the scientists are. This was the proof of the ability to rate crystals on different properties of singular objects. This one's really shiny. This one's not really shiny. I like this one the most. I like the purple ones. Overall, the researchers conclude that chimpanzees are attracted to crystals because of their shape and transparency, which set them apart from everything else in their natural landscape. From trees to clouds, primates evolved in a world characterized by round edges and fractal patterns. Yet crystals built a straight line, and they are see-through, that our primordial ancestors could have encountered, which may explain why they fascinate us so. Moreover, because this penchant for crystals is present in chimpanzees, it must also have been a trait of extinct human species like Homo erectus. This explains why prehistoric hominins were such avid collectors of these eye-catching items. If our results are correct, Then we have had our crystals on our minds for at least 7 million years, says Garcia Ruz. And it still hasn't cured my cancer. What the hell? There are certain fish that decorate their nests with shells and rocks to attract mates, and then they try to pick the prettiest ones to have the best opportunity. Yeah, I think there's just a natural obsession with shiny things. Like, look at it, it's shiny. It literally has a glint in your eye. They also create patterns in the sand in combination with shells and rocks to create their own art. Yeah, if fish can do it, why are we surprised chimpanzee can do it? I don't know why. But there's my story. And thank you, Z, for your added in fun fact about fish and shiny objects. So shiny. And that's why we like shiny Pokemon too. I can't hear you because you're muted.
That's okay. I was coughing a lot. I was trying to quote Peter Gabriel from Shock the Monkey, but I couldn't work it into a kite. Right? You're right. You can fox the fox. That's 5. You can rat on the rat. That's 7, right? And the third line should be don't monkey with the monkey. Doesn't
the monkey
right?
with the monkey.
So we can't do that.
Don't
so
monkey. Just don't monkey. Don't monkey.
I had to quote John Lennon instead of Peter Gabriel. Not quote. I'm sorry. Paraphrase John Lennon instead of.
Do
Peter
not
Gabriel.
monkey me. There you go. There's 5 syllables.
Yeah. Got something to hide? Everyone misleads except me and my monkey.
But technically, right? Chimpanzees are apes,
me and my...
not monkeys.
Of course. What does a monkey stand for? What is a monkey? What is it a metaphor for in all songs? What is a monkey? A metaphor on every rock and roll song.
Marijuana?
An addiction. A monkey.
Oh.
Yeah, an addiction. Addiction. You got a monkey on your back. So yeah. So John Lennon was singing, everybody's got something to hide except for me and my addiction. That's what he was singing.
That's right open for everyone to see. Everyone see right there. It's happening.
Right, man. If you don't know what a monkey is, you don't know what a monkey is. Any song, you know, for this day forward, they mention a monkey. They're talking about drugs. They're about hooked on something. They got a monkey on the back. And he's got a knife. And a bag of heroin. Do we got another story?
No, that story was long enough. Let's roll our segue for this Thursday's 13 list. This is for you, Z, by the way, since you're here. These are the 13 most affordable cities in the United States. So if you haven't found an apartment yet, you might want to look in these cities where you can not pay almost $40 for an Uber to go sell your laptops. Take it away with haiku. I'll be writing a haiku.
Yeah. Well, I kind of misspoke before, and I said it was about retirement. Well, it really is. It really isn't. It's just most affordable. Because some of these places are quite expensive to live in, but they have high median income, and that's the chart I'm using today. It's an actual formula that you can do at home, and there's actual statistics that you can use that are real statistics. You just go to the IRS, find out the IRS will tell you the median income of any city, and if you want to know the rents, you can just go look up real estate. Real estate people keep track of that stuff. They know the rents in every city. So this is legitimately accurate, up to the minute information about every city in America and the most affordable cities. And there's some surprises here. Number 1 is a surprise, and these are ranked. These are number 1. The number 1 affordable city in the United States, Austin, Texas. Wow, really? Austin, Texas.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
Rents are high. Rents are not low there. But wages are high. And why is it high? If you'll notice that little black star next to it. Why does it have a little black star? Why? Yeah. It's a state capital. State capitals. State capitals are really, really big job producers. Why? Mm-hmm. All the workers in the federal and the state government, and the federal government for that matter, the federal government puts their offices there too. Because
you could literally be somebody working, delivering the coffee, and you'll have a higher wage there.
Right. So government drives up wages everywhere it goes. So you're going to see 5 out of 13, 5 of them are state capitals. Isn't that amazing? So that's the first one. The next one is a city you know very well because you were born there. El Paso, Texas.
Really?
Texas, barely
Okay.
in Texas. Yeah. El
There's two
Paso, very affordable.
Texas cities already. Maybe that's why
So,
everyone lives
the
there.
reason I moved there. Yeah, the reason I moved there is because I lived in San Diego. I could not buy a house. And it's still the most affordable city as far as rents that I could find in the United States that actually has an economy. I mean, a major city, right?
Yeah.
So rents are relatively cheap there. You can still rent a decent 2-bedroom house for the median rent's like $800. Can't knock that. And you don't even have to make a lot to afford it. So it's affordable. It's affordable because low rents. And again, there's a lot of government offices located there, Border Patrol, so forth, so on, because it's on the border. And there's a military base there. A lot of stuff contributing to their economy base being actually making things affordable, let's put it that way. We go to another city we've both been to, and it's a capital city, and it's in the Southwest again, and it's Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, famously full of government offices, right? Capital city, full of government offices. The FBI famously had a building blown up there in 1995. So there's we've driven through Oklahoma City a number of times. Not a big fan of it, right? I mean, it's a big stockyard. It's basically what it is, a big stockyard. Oklahoma City is a big stockyard. It's where all the railheads for all the stockyards go, all the cattle go. And again, the government employs a lot of people, kind of mid-range as far as rent and income, but mid will get you there, right? If you're mid in both, it'll get you there. Number 4 is a city right outside of Chicago, Decatur, Illinois. And the reason that one is more affordable, of course, wages are going to be high. Yeah, it's a bedroom community. It's actually where the Chicago Bears came from, right? They used to be called the Decatur Staleys. If you remember the old, and before the NFL was existed, they had a team. Anyway, one of the first NFL franchises and a bedroom community for Chicago with low rents. So wages are high and you got to commute probably, you got to take a couple of trains, but at least your rent's low. Not near a capital city, but near a major city. A lot of these are major cities. Here's a weird one I can't explain. It's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I don't understand it. I haven't made any rationalizations, but it's on the list. I mean, sometimes it just things work out and it's in the list. There's an easy explanation for Pittsburgh. It's kind of the Rust Belt. It's like the Rust Belt city. Like when steel mills closed down, that was it.
A big college place, right? No?
Every place is a college, but no, not really. University of Pittsburgh isn't that big. I mean, Penn State. You're thinking of a college station in Pennsylvania. That's the big college town. Pittsburgh was an industrial-based town. It was a steel belt, turned into a rust belt, turned into economic despair. But hey, it's livable city as far as affordability is concerned. These are the only 2 criteria for my list. Number 6 doesn't surprise me at all. Huntsville, Alabama. Well, nobody makes any money in Alabama unless you live in Huntsville, because what's in Huntsville? Got a little circle on the side there. NASA, yeah.
Oh,
NASA.
Big one there.
I've been there twice. There's a place called Redstone Arsenal, and I've been there a couple of times. I had to do some testing on helicopter radio systems on helicopters. Huntsville, Alabama has the most PhDs, the most advanced degrees per capita than any city in the United States. In Alabama. It's northern Alabama. It's in the mountains. It's almost Tennessee, really. Number 7, another capital city, and again, just mid, right? I just wanted to say what I said. Probably the mid city in America is Des Moines, right? It's just middle of Iowa. It's the capital city. It's the biggest city. It gets a lot of tornadoes. It gets a lot of floods. I'm thinking the housing prices just match the salaries enough to where it's on the list. I can't think of anything specific that would put it on the list except that. Fort Wayne, Indiana, we talked about the other day. Remember we were talking about gentlemen's clubs?
Oh, right, yeah.
That's number 8. The city, when I was there in the 90s, gentlemen clubs everywhere. Now, I don't know what it's like now, but my guess, you see there, is all the tips. All the tips. I mean, the tips for the gentlemen's clubs, right? I'm just saying, it's just, there's so, I don't even know how to describe how many there were. I don't know if it exists to this day. I've been to Fort Wayne in probably 20 years, but I'm thinking there's a giant defense contractor named Raytheon. If you're thinking about smart bombs and all this crap we're doing, right? All right, all this air defense crap, Raytheon, right? Big, huge defense contractor in Fort Wayne. That's why the salaries are high there. Number 9, the place Jack White's going to, Wichita. Yeah, he's going to Wichita.
Wichita, really?
Opera forevermore.
Okay, interesting.
That's right. He's going to Wichita. He's going to forget about this opera forevermore. He's going to work the saw, and he's going to make the sweat drip from every pore because Wichita is the 9th most affordable city in America.
Nice.
I've been through Wichita. I can't say much about it. I just been through there. I think we stayed at a hotel one time. I've been to every one of these cities, by the way. Every one of them. I can't say much about Decatur, Illinois.
Well-traveled man. You were born a well-traveled man.
Yep, I'm Ricky Nelson, the traveling man. Number 10 is another capital city, Columbus, Ohio. No mystery there. It's a capital city. High incomes and lower rents than most of the surrounding area.
I know somebody who just moved there, right?
Moderate rents. Columbus, Ohio, named after Columbus, that guy who found a ship. And number 11, a place I've only been to maybe just their airport, so I can't really count. Being Louisville, Kentucky, I had nothing to add about Louisville. I've only been to their airport. I've only been to Kentucky a couple of times, for that matter. We camped there one time in Kentucky. It was really southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, but yeah, we did camp there. But I don't have a lot of experience with Kentucky or Louisville, so I can't say much about it. I have a question. How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce the capital city of Kentucky? Is it Louisville or Louisville?
I say Louisville, because France.
I say Frankfurt, because Louisville's not the capital. It would have a star by it if it was. That's a trick question. Ha ha ha. Our last capital city on the list, Indianapolis, Indiana, home of the Indianapolis 500. No mystery there. Rents are probably pretty moderate in Indiana because nobody really makes a lot of money. And if you wanted to make money in Indiana, you would go to Indianapolis because there's a state capital, there's government jobs, and you want to pay a lot of rent. And the number 13 on our list, another place we've been to. We used to live in this state, and we went to a Bob Dylan concert there.
Oh, right,
Tulsa,
really?
Tulsa, Oklahoma, the 13th most livable state. And as a matter of fact, having been to Oklahoma a bunch of times, it's one of the nicer places in Oklahoma.
Where we went was pretty nice. Yeah, they're having like there's a park. Nice they're having a little live event and stuff.
Yep. And as like I'm saying, there you go. There's your fun little, and it seems like a little like a blue section of Oklahoma. A little bit of blue there, not all red. There's your story, your selections,
there's your
cities, all that stuff.
I guess go check them out if you want to find a new place to live. Check out see if you can get yourself a rent agreement or something, or a lease. And my haiku is: hidden gems await. Cities thrive with open arms. Dreams bloom. Costs kept low. There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah, Z has actually been looking at these places too, so maybe some added ones to the list. Of course, we can't speak on how it feels to live in those places. We can only speak on how affordable it is.
When I lived in El Paso, I applied for jobs in some of these places.
I know people live in El Paso and they think it's crap, but the thing is, for me, there's just people who will not be happy no matter where they are, right? There's people who live in this country I live in Holland, and they're like, oh, this country's boring and it sucks. I'm like, really? Boring is your measurement for how much a country sucks? And there's nothing happening? Okay, go to a country that's getting bombed, and then plenty of things will be happening in your life.
Do you know what people really hate America? right? You know what people really hate America is those people who moved to Russia because they thought America was bad. Those people really hate America.
Or people move to China and then they talk about how like China is so much better. To be fair, there are a lot of good things happening in China because they're very socialist. So.
Right, yeah. Again, China decides winners and losers. They don't even care. Yeah, they're gonna.
Well, they definitely provide places for people to live if you're old, for example. That's not really a thing that you're getting in America, for example. Right?
Yeah. What?
That's just the only example.
Nothing's being fixed, by the way. It would be one thing if we had problems and they were being fixed. They're not. They're being made worse, and that's the problem here.
We also invent more problems for ourselves, it seems, sometimes.
Yeah. Let's start a war and then justify it. Okay.
All right, let's roll the next segue.
I had an argument with an idiot.
Oh, yeah, let me
get
myself
one idiot
a
posting
chair.
today.
One
One idiot posting today was like, how come you liberals are against the Iran war thing the Iranians are celebrating? I'm like, that's great. I don't live in Iran. And by the way, this was Israel's war, not our war. This is Israel's war. That's why we're mad. Do you understand that part? Anyway. Just
our next segue is going to be Tell a Joke. And we're going to be talking about mergers, mega mergers with Warner Bros. And Paramount. Also, good morning, Johnny. Welcome. And Josh says, do not move where he lives. I don't know where Josh lives, but don't move there. So, he didn't.
Is it on planet Earth?
Josh did not say where he lives. He just said, don't move there, okay? That's all you got to know.
He just doesn't want neighbors, that's all.
You don't have to dox yourself, Josh. It's just funny that's like, don't move where I live. Okay, I won't.
You narrow it down to a planet for us.
Everyone should move where I live. Except
everybody
the housing,
should be on my planet.
The housing problem. That's the one problem where I live. But the new government is saying they're going to start building more houses, but that will be 10 years from now, you know, when there's not a housing crisis anymore. But
they always got money for bombs. Have you ever noticed that? They never have money for houses. Money for bombs, though. Wow.
Okay,
amazing.
Don't move to Hershey, Pennsylvania. It just smells like chocolate. You don't want to move there.
That is got the most famous swap meet in the country, I believe, Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Really? Okay, well, you can go there for that, but don't live there. Josh says don't live there. Mm-hmm. Okay, our next story with yet again to remind you, you need to tell me a joke. We're going to be talking about the huge mega merger that people have been taught. For somehow Paramount's able to buy Warner Bros. Or they're able to merge together into a mega merger, but they can't afford to have Colbert on the show anymore. Huh, interesting. This is from Jeremy Barr on The Guardian. Champagne reportedly flowed at Paramount Skydance headquarters late last week after the media conglomerate edged out Netflix to acquire the entirety of Warner Bros. Discovery for a cool $110 billion. And on a call with analysts and investors on the 2nd of March, David Ellison, Paramount Skydance chief executive, said the company was absolutely confident that the merger would be expeditiously past regulatory muster both in the US and abroad after they paid Trump all that bribe money last year. Remember the big payout he got? Yeah. Can we have this mega merger now? We've been engaging with regulators around the world, and the combination does not come close to hitting any of the metrics that would be problematic, says the guy who is about to make a lot of money. But the deal, which drew outrage statements from many Democratic members of the U.S. Senate, doesn't necessarily have a glide path to closing, antitrust and competition experts say. While Congress does not have any power to stop the merger, a state attorney general or a coalition of attorney generals could sue to block the deal, which could put the matter in front of a judge. I definitely think that they should have a shot at stopping it if they pool their resources to make a challenge. Alvaro Bedoya, who served on the Federal Trade Commission between 22 and 25, said in an interview. In that vein, Rob Bonta, California's Attorney General, said in a post on Twitter that he was in conversations with a fellow state attorney general. Paramount Warner Bros. Is not a done deal, Bonta said in a statement after the deal was announced. These two Hollywood tie-ins have not cleared regulatory scrutiny. The California Department of Justice has had an open investigation and do intend to be vigorous in our review. Bonta, who was not made available for an interview, did not provide any further comment. A combined lawsuit by state attorney generals presents a real threat, Bill Bayer, who served as assistant attorney general in charge of the antitrust division of the U.S. Department of Justice from 2013 to 2016, told The Guardian. These are people who are involved in the thing we're talking about, okay? They're not just pulling shit out of their ass. They're like, there's no way this would pass in normal circumstances. It's harder for them to prevail if the Justice Department has said the merger is fine, but it's not impossible. There are serious antitrust issues that, in the normal world, would involve further inquiry. The merger will also need to be approved by antitrust officials from the European Commission and the United Kingdom, though competition and antitrust expert Christina Caffeine said she didn't expect that to be an issue, particularly because she sees little willingness to antagonize. Really? Is this going to antagonize Trump? Is it any of his fucking business? Really? Oh, you're telling me we can't merge. It's not even, he has probably shares or something. It's really weird that this would antagonize him, but who cares about antagonizing? Convicted felon Donald Trump, who is a strong supporter of the Ellison family and its deal. This deal is not particularly significant to anyone in Europe, she said. There isn't the prospect of lost jobs like in California. Even on conventional grounds, this would likely be waved through in Europe. They care even less in a Trump administration in which the outcome is foretold. As for the process in the UK, Caffeine claimed the country's competition authority has been decapitated and is far more focused on promoting growth than regulation competition. By combining the HBO Max and Paramount Plus streaming services, as Ellison announced on the 2nd of March, the deal could reasonably be seen as reducing competition in the marketplace, though the company has said it would maintain both the Warner Bros. And Paramount Film studios. Yeah, you can't get rid of that branding or something. I don't know. I think there's an argument that this will create a very concentrated market for a very specific kind of movie studio that puts out a very particular kind of movie. Padilla said, the former FTC commissioner. There appears to be an even more compelling case that a whole lot of people are going to be put out of work. So I think a state attorney general looking at the labor market effects is going to have something to work with. The combined company will also be saddled with a $79 billion debt and will surely make significant efforts to cut costs by firing a bunch of people. They are expected to include employee layoffs. The Writers Guild of America put out a statement that last week opposing the deal, saying the merger must be blocked because the loss of competition would be a disaster for writers, consumers, and the entire entertainment industry. Some U.S. senators have made similar arguments. If Paramount Skydance's deal with Warner Bros. Goes through, one family would become a dominant force in American entertainment, with David Ellison owning Warner Bros., Paramount Plus, HBO, CBS News, CNN, TNT, TBS, Food Network, Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, HGTV, and more, U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Richard Blumenthal wrote in a letter to Pam Bondi, who she doesn't care. She's a fucking tool. On Monday, the 2nd of March. Federal antitrust law is designed to prevent mergers that would create a massive conglomerate like this, which are bad for our economy and for Americans. A Justice Department spokesperson declined comment on the status of the agency's regulatory process, though Bloomberg News reported that the deal remains under active review by the U.S. antitrust officials. We will work incredibly collaboratively with regulators to ensure that we get a quick path to closing and are confident in our ability to achieve that goal, Ellison said on the 2nd of March. Although it was not the leading bidder, with Warner Bros. Discovery Board initially backing Netflix's offer, Paramount has already completed at least 2 information requests from the Department of Justice because the 10-day waiting period mandated by the Hart-Scott-Rodino Antitrust Improvements Act of 1976 expired on the 19th of February. So nobody renewed it. Paramount said last month that this is no statutory impediment in the U.S. to closing Paramount's proposed acquisition of WBD. That seems a lot of convenient things happening all at once, huh, guys? Very convenient. While Bayer said it appeared that Trump's Department of Justice was leaning towards approving the deal, The process is certainly a few steps along already. We got authority to issue civil investigation demands and require more information from both parties. Now that the deal has been finalized, I think there's a substantial risk that the closing of the transaction will be delayed, he said. So there is all your very conspicuous, coincidental instances of things happening all within the last year to create this deal for somebody who already has his finger in Trump's pie. Or the other way around, I don't know. He has his finger in Ellis's pie. Hopefully this does not lead to an increased price for merge subscription. That doesn't make any fucking sense, but they probably do. You're right, Josh. They'll probably increase it. Also, I can't hear you. You're muted.
I thought I unmuted myself. Okay. I just wanted to point out that all three networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC, have the same anchor. He looks like the same guy. So not only do we have a monopoly in news, we have a monopoly in just white guys reading news as if they're the only people that
can't read, by the way, right?
Yeah, yeah, especially the CBS guy. I don't know. The other two guys are just condescending. They're probably all condescending, but yeah, they're just all just, I'm a special person who's giving you the news. No, you're not. You're an idiot. It's reading propaganda.
Do your goddamn job and shut up.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, tired of the news. That's not really a joke, but it's just an observation. I don't know which news it's a good thing they put that little thing in the corner to identify which network I'm watching, because I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know otherwise. They all look the same. They're the same guy. They got them from a news clone store.
News anchor clone store.
We're back to only white people can give us the news, folks. That's my joke, I guess. Let's. Do you have another story?
Nope, that's it. Maybe we should do evil.
By the way,
Lab.
Anderson Cooper took CBS for so-called family reasons, but he's still working for CNN as far as I know. So maybe he's going to quit there too. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure he's making a lot of money.
Here is our next and last segue is going to be alliteration headline about this day in history.
Okay.
Take it away.
This day in history, 1770. Alliteration. Harassed by a mob, British troops on this day in 1770 opened fire, killing Crispus Attucks and 4 others in the Boston Massacre, an event that galvanized anti-British feelings in the lead up to the American Revolution. Kind of reminds me of Minneapolis, doesn't it? Killing somebody unarmed. Oh my God, there's people in the streets. We must shoot them. Yeah. We have made no progress as a country. 1798, Napoleon invaded Switzerland and occupied Bern, ending the ancient ruling system of that country, the Confederation of the 13 Cantons. 13, interesting. Thursday's 13 day. Maybe we could have listed them. 1871, activist Rosa Luxemburg, who played a key role in the founding of the Polish Social Democratic Party and the Spartacus League, was born in Zamość, Poland. Happy birthday. 1887, Brazilian musician and composer Heitor Villa-Lobos was born in Rio de Janeiro. His music combines indigenous Latin American melodic elements and Western classical music. 1946, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill popularized the term Iron Curtain, describing the ideological barrier created by the Soviet Union to separate itself and its Eastern and Central European allies from Western nations. In a speech, he said it in a speech at Fulton, Missouri. So he was in the United States when he said that. I can't do an
human
impersonation.
Invention, by the way. It's not. You can't go over there and find it. It's not real.
What's not real? The curtain? Oh yeah.
Yeah, the curtain's
the
not
Berlin
real.
Wall
This
was
doesn't
real,
it's just
though.
an invention he made so he could make a deal with Stalin under the table, basically.
Speaking of Stalin, 1953, Joseph Stalin bought the farm. That's right. I was just watching this movie. It's actually pretty entertaining. Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin died at the age of 74, was succeeded by Gregor Malenkov. If you haven't heard of him, he didn't last very long. While he transformed the Soviet Union into a major world power, Stalin's dictatorial rule was marked by paranoia, and police terror. Again, he was just having people executed because he felt like it. So yeah, he was a piece of shit. 1955, Chinese author Mo Yan was born. He won the 2012 Nobel Prize for Literature for his imaginative and humanistic fiction. 1963, American country western singer Patsy Cline died in a plane crash at the age of 30. One of the classic performers, known for such ballads as I Fall to Pieces and Crazy, unfortunately named I Fall to Pieces, right? I mean, dying in a plane crash. There's a famous lady.
Wild.
I mean, if you were playing that song in her honor when she died, that's kind of inappropriate, right? Crazy is the song we want to hear from Patty Cline, the one written by Willie Nelson. So yeah, 1963 on this day, 63 years ago. So yeah. 1979, the U.S. space probe Voyager 1 flew by Io, the innermost of Jupiter's moons, and observed 9 active volcanoes on its surface. Io, I think it's Io, is the most volcanically active body in the solar system. I spell that in Words with Friends all the time, by the way. Io, it's one of my favorites.
It's a real place.
213, Hugo Chavez, in 2113, he won 3, that was wrong with me. In 2013, this day, Hugo Chavez, former leader of Venezuela, died at the age of 58. I think he had cancer. And so he was replaced by Maduro, who has now been replaced by another guy in the same party. So nothing really changed in Venezuela. They just reshuffled the deck chairs in the Titanic. And there you go. March 5th on this day, 1908, Ernest Shackelford's Nimrod expedition heads towards Mount Erebus. On this day, 1908, Ernest Shackelford and a group of 14 men set out to climb a volcano. I guess. It's there. Why not? British Antarctic expedition had sailed from England on the 200-ton Nimrod, great name for a boat, determined to map previously uncharted territories. The group trudged towards Mount Erebus, the southernmost active volcano in the world, until the climate weather stopped. When the blizzard cleared, the men continued reaching the summit, blah, blah, blah. One of the most successful Arctic expeditions of all time. I'm not sure what it accomplished other than they did it. I'm just saying, it's like a whole bunch of details about, okay, we planted a flag at a volcano.
People don't know
I bet
about
it's
it.
not there anymore.
Why are you trying to... This is why people don't learn stuff, because you say blah, blah, blah.
All that was said, one of the most successful Antarctic expeditions of all time. Okay, of the time.
Less people died than before.
Crazy people. One of those crazy rich people sitting around. Let's not pretend Ernest Shackelford was just a mechanic at the local garage. He was an aristocrat, right? Let's not pretend he had no damn money. He hired a crew of people that had no reason to live anymore, and they all just decided to go climb a volcano in the Antarctic. Okay, you want to just tell me what that was accomplished? I have no idea what it accomplished. Still to this day.
We were there.
They had some
Hashtag
fun.
something.
They froze some coat. Everybody got frostbite. Congratulations. At least they should have waited until summer, I would think. They're doing it in it is summer. It was summer. Sorry about that. Okay. It was summer in the late summer, wasn't it? Okay, sorry about that. Our feature biography is Sun Meiling, Chinese political figure. Here she is in a picture with Eleanor Roosevelt, so I imagine she's not around anymore. March 5th, 1898, she was born in Shanghai, died in New York City at the age of 105. She died in 2003. She lived the entire 20th century start to finish. There's an accomplishment.
Wow, that's impressive.
Forget that. Yeah, right.
Forget the Antarctica people or whatever.
What's that?
Forget that previous thing. This lady is crazy. She lived forever.
No shit, 105. 1898 to 2003. It's like nothing happened in the 20th century she doesn't remember, unless she was probably too young. In 1898, Zhou Enlai, Premier Zhou Enlai. That's how you pronounce his name? Okay. Zhou Enlai, that's how you pronounce his name. Premier of China was born in 1898. 1908, the rain in Spain falls mainly in the plain. And where does that bloody rain fall? Rex Harrison, British actor. Sorry about that. I was doing a thing for My Fair Lady. Rex Harrison, British actor, born in 1908. 1922, Pier Paolo Pasolini, Italian author and director, born. 1934 is the birth date of an Israeli-born psychologist, Daniel Kahneman. And it's happy birthday to Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen, American televangelist, theologian, and author. 1963. He's turning 63. So happy birthday to old Joel Osteen. Hopefully you're letting homeless people into your giant stadium now when there's a hurricane.
Really? But, that's pretty cool.
We're never going to forget stadium, that. Huh? Yeah. Hurricane Rita hit Houston once upon a time. Right after Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, there was Hurricane Rita. A bunch of homeless people in Houston lined up at Joel Osteen owns a basketball stadium. It used to be the Houston Rockets home stadium, and he would not let them people homeless flooded out of their homes by the hurricane. He would not let them stay in his brand newly refurbished basketball stadium because they might get the carpet dirty.
Really?
Carpeting over people. A true holy man. Anyway, that's my Joel Osteen tribute. Let's do the National Day calendar. National Day today is National Cheese Doodle Day. So doodle your cheese. National Absinthe Day. National Multiple Personality Day. I already covered that. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. Anyway. National Slam the Scam Day, and it says scam, IRS. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of IRS crap coming up in your mail these days. Emails. Claim your refund now. Just give us your social security number. You know, that's kind of shit.
I wish it was that easy. I mean, it is that easy in other countries because the other countries actually do pay attention to what their people are doing.
Yeah. But I did get a good, nice email from a prince in Nigeria. Right? Apparently, he has a $150 million check he has to cash, and he only needs 5%. So I helped him out with that. And those are your days. That's your ignorant scam stuff for the week. It's Thursday of Consumer Protection Week, by the way. That's why it's Slam the Scam Day. So those are your haikus, your mispronunciation, your technical glitches, your war updates for March 5th, 2026. Did I say absinthe, by the way, at National Absinthe Day?
I don't think you did.
Yeah, absinthe. That tastes like liquid.
Have yourself a...
Absinthe, yeah.
What is that usually in? A martini, I think.
I don't know. It looks like somebody's putting mints in it or something. I don't know. I'm not a big connoisseur of alcohol, so I don't know. Anyway, those are everything for March 5th, 2026 on Before Cheese Doodles. And just skip the absinthe. I don't recommend it. It sounds expensive, doesn't it? It just sounds expensive.
Absinthe? Yeah, it does sound expensive.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
All right. Then I guess you need to
Segue.
already absinthe allowing
away
alcohol awareness after
all right
already
Alaska,
ambitious,
Albania,
ambitious,
don't
already
forget
ambitious.
Antarctica.
No, let me finish.
Antarctica.
You're making me lose it now. I forgot what I said now.
It's all right.
I forgot what I said now.
You won.
But either way, there's my alliteration that got rudely interrupted.
I'm sorry you were making it up on the spot. I thought I was helping you. I apologize. Keep going.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of part of the fun is making it up on the spot, though.
I'm not the reactionary.
I mean, there's so many
like I said,
things.
it's in my brain
There's so many things on this day in history. You have to choose something. Right. And there's too many choices. Okay.
A lot. Amazing.
Let me just finish putting this mic drop in because I just finished editing it.
Tries to make an
started at the beginning. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't want to do that.
You could, but it's like 5.5 minutes.
I didn't want to go to the yesterday's event. Thank you. Okay.
3:30.
Not yesterday's mic drop. Our second time watching that. I'm sure this is probably our 15th time watching a George Carlin clip. So this
was actually just put out yesterday on the George Carlin channel, or 2 days ago. So yeah, it's an old clip, of course, but
It's not letting me move it. Did it let me move it? It did let me move it. Okay. Let's see. Is it an International Day today? Boop, 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 boop. It is. It's International Day for the Disarmament and Non-Proliferation Awareness. Isn't that just hilarious? All the things we've been talking about today. We did not disarm anybody. Nobody is disarmed. This is the International Day for Disarmament by the UN. Seeks to promote better awareness and understanding of disarmament issues among the public, especially young people. Yes, let's not give young people guns. That sounds like a great idea. Since the founding of the United Nations, the goals of multilateral disarmament and arms limitation have been central to the organization's efforts to maintain international peace and security. Let's not shoot each other with missiles. Is it working? No, but you need to keep fighting for it, okay? Don't just give up.
Right.
Oh, I guess it's never going to happen then.
And landmines, too.
Keep fighting for it.
Get rid of landmines.
Antonio Guterres once said, on this International Day for Disarmament and Non-Proliferation Awareness, I urge leaders to step back from the brink, stop rattling the nuclear saber, and halt the arms race. There you go. Your inspiring words from Antonio Guterres. I don't know who Antonio Guterres is. He sounds like somebody famous.
He used to have a neighbor named Guterres.
He's Portuguese. He's a Portuguese politician for the Socialist Party. That's all I got for you. He was a He was a Secretary General of the United Nations in 2017. So there you go. And that's what he said. Stop sabering your rattle, or whatever he's. Yeah. Your nuclear rattle.
Sabering your rattle. Don't saber your rattle, whatever you do. Proliferation. Right. You got to say it slower.
And this has been Allison here from the Netherlands. Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we finish off another Thursday's 13. I hope you enjoyed all those affordable cities in which you could move to in the U.S. anyways. And we will see you tomorrow for the Friday news dump. We're going to cover all the news you may have missed, news we may have missed, news stories that we wanted to cover but didn't get a chance to cover it on Friday. Don't forget to subscribe to the Before Coffee podcast channel to let YouTube and the algorithm know people enjoy watching Before Coffee and whatever we're doing on the show. Thank you for everyone who's already subscribed, already following, and of course, our Patreons supporting the show on Before Coffee supporters on Patreon. And here is our mic drop moment from George Carlin himself.
To me, war is nothing but a whole lot of prick waving, okay? War is just a lot of men standing around in a field waving their pricks at one another.
Just George
Simple thing, that's all it is. Men are insecure about the size of their dicks, and so they have to go to war over it. That's what
the only
all
explanation.
That asshole jock bullshit is all about.
Everything, right?
That's what all that adolescent macho male posturing and strutting in bars and locker rooms is all about. It's called dick fear. Men are terrified that their pricks are inadequate, and so they have to compete to feel better. And because war is the ultimate competition, basically men are killing one another in order to improve their self-esteem. You don't have to be a history major or a political scientist to see the bigger dick foreign policy theory.
Bigger dick.
It sounds like this. What? They have bigger dicks? Bomb them! And of course, the bombs and the rockets and the bullets are all shaped like dicks. It's a subconscious need to project the penis into other people's affairs. It's called
keep it in your pants, man.
With people. As far as I'm concerned, that whole thing in the Persian Gulf, nothing more than a big prick-waving dick fight.
This is as old as you. It's older, actually.
In this particular case, Saddam Hussein had challenged and questioned the size of George Bush's dick.
Now listen to this.
George Bush has been called a wimp for so long. Wimp rhymes with limp.
Oh.
George has been called a wimp for so long that he has to act out his manhood fantasies by sending other people's children to die. Even the name Bush is related to the genitals without being the genitals. A bush is a sort of passive secondary sex characteristic. Now, if this man's name had been George Boner...
It's not a sex characteristic. Both humans have bushes.
He might have felt better about himself, and we wouldn't have had any trouble over there in the first place. This whole country has a manhood problem. Big manhood problem in the USA. You can tell from the language we use. Language always gives you away. What did we do wrong in Vietnam? We pulled out.
Oh, no.
Not a very manly thing to do, is it? When you're fucking people, you gotta stay in there and fuck them good, fuck them all the way, fuck them till the end, fuck them to death, fuck them to death.
God.
Stay in there and keep fucking them until they're all dead. We left a few women and children alive in Vietnam, and we haven't felt good about ourselves since. That's why George Bush had to say in the Persian Gulf, this will not be another Vietnam. He actually used these words, this time we're going all the way. Imagine an American president using the sexual slang of a 13-year-old to describe his foreign policy. If you want to know what happened in the Persian Gulf, just remember the names of the two men who were running that war, Dick Cheney and Colin Powell.
Oh my God.
Somebody got fucked in the ass.
That's so crazy.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.